Hello viewers, today I am going to talk about the time cycle theory of rags. In my previous lecture, I had elaborated about thought and rag. Well, I think in this lecture I need not to explain about the definition of rag or its association with the parent scale thought, but I will definitely talk about the time theory of Indian rags, which is one very unique characteristic of Indian music. By the time theory of rag, it is meant that every Indian rag has been assigned the certain time of day or night for its performance. It is believed that only in the assigned period of the rag appears to be at the height of its melodic beauty. There are some rags which appear to be very attractive in the early hours of the morning. Some rags appeal in the evening. Yet there are some other rags which spread their fragrance only in the night hours. The connection of the time of day and night with rag is based upon the daily cycle of changes that occur in our own body and mind, which are constantly undergoing subtle changes as the different moments of day arouse and stimulate different moods and emotions. Each rag is associated with particular passion or mood or human sentiments, and hence it is closely connected to a certain time of day and night. That means each rag is sung or played in a definite time segment, that is, before sunrise, in the morning, in the noon, late afternoon, early evening, night, and late night. It is believed that a rag sounds more melodious in the particular time assigned to it. According to the late French musicologist Alain Denelou, for at the wrong hour rag could never be developed so perfectly, nor could it so greatly move an audience. In ancient Indian musical text, Sangeet Makarand, it is mentioned, Rag Vela Praganen, Raga Nam Hinsko Bhivet. And in Rag Tarangani, it is mentioned, Yatha Kale Samaram Dam Geetam Bhavte Ranjakam. The older generation of Indian musicians in particular believed that disaster would be evoked if Geet or Rag is not sung in its proper time. Such a significance of performing the Rag in its assigned time has been mentioned in the old musical treatises. Not only this, even there are many Indian rags which are associated with the particular season, such as with the rainy season, like Rag Megh and Malhar, with the autumn season, with Basant season, like Rag Basant, and with the spring season, like Rag Bahar. Such rags are known as Ritu Rag or seasonal rags. These seasonal rags can be sung or played any time of day and night during the season. Otherwise, each rag has a definite time of day or night. Now let's know the theory behind fixing the time of rags. The time theory of Indian rags is not merely arbitrary, but there are some rules according to which rags have been assigned definite time of day or night. According to time theory rules, all rags of Hindustani music may be classified in three categories, such as rags with Ri and Dha Komal notes, that is flat notes, rags with Ri and Dha Shudha notes, that is natural notes, and rags with Ga and Ni Komal notes, again flat notes. The first category of rag is rag with Ri and Dha flat notes, which are also known as Sandhi Prakash rag. The time for such rag is of sunrise and sunset. Usually such rags are sung in between 4 am to 7 am and also in between 4 pm to 7 pm. In this way, there are two categories of Sandhi Prakash rags, that is, morning Sandhi Prakash rags and evening Sandhi Prakash rags. Shuddh or natural ma dominates in the morning rags and sharp ma dominates in the evening rags of this category. Usually the rags of Bhairav That belong to the morning rags and Purvi That belong to the evening Sandhi Prakash rags. Another characteristic of this category is that Ga note should be Shuddh or natural along with Ri and Dha flat notes. There are some rags which do not follow completely the rules laid down for this category and has Dha note Shuddh instead of Komal. For example, Rag Marwa. Considering such censures, finally the rules accepted for this category are Re flat and Ga sharp. Dha note may be flat or sharp. The rags generated from Bhairav, Purvi and Marwa That belong to this category, and the time fixed for such rags is of sunrise and sunset, that is, in between 4 am to 7 am and 4 pm to 7 pm. The second category of rag is rags with Ri and Dha notes as Shuddh or natural. These are early morning and early evening rags, which follow the performance time of Sandhi Prakash rags, that is, from 7 am to 10 am and from 7 pm to 10 pm. Rags from Bilawal, Kalyan and Kamai That fall in this category. The another characteristic of this category too is having Ga note as Shuddh or natural along with Ri and Dha Shuddh notes. The third category of rags is rag with Ga and Ni notes as Komal or flat. The rags produced from the remaining thats like Kafi, Asavari, Bhairavi and Todi, which take Ga and Ni as Komal, fall in this category of rags. The time for such rag is considered from 10 am to 4 pm and from 10 pm to 4 am. We can say this category of rags represent late morning and late night rags, which are just before the morning and evening Sandhi Prakash rags. If you will keep on performing the rags on the given time, you will see that there are no sudden change of notes from one category to another. The Parmel Parveshak rags make the gradual change from one time slot to another. Parmel Parveshak rag is a rag which enters from one that to another, having the characteristic of both the thats. For example, when it is a time to go from Shuddh Reda rags to Komal Gani rags, rag Jajavanti fits right there. It has Shuddh Reda and Komal Ga is introduced along with Shuddh Ga. So gradually the change is made from second category to the third. Now let me tell you about another theory of time fixing for the rags, which is Purvangvadi and Uttarangvadi rags. Once we are done with the basic theory of time fixing, I will now narrate about another theory which is based upon Purvang and Uttarang, that is lower and upper tetrachords. This theory goes parallel with the aforesaid categorization. According to this theory, musical octave is divided into two overlapping parts, Sa Re Ga Ma Pa and Ma Pa Dha Ni Sa. The lower and the upper tetrachords of the octave, which are known as Purvang and Uttrang. As the musical scale is divided into two parts, so is the time of the day and night. Music scholars have divided the 24 hours of day and night into two parts. That is, from 12 noon to 12 midnight is Purv Ang, that is Purvang, and from 12 midnight to 12 noon is Uttar Ang or Uttrang. Now let's know how the rags are divided under these two main heads, that is Purav Rag and Uttar Rag, and how Purvang and Uttrang of the octave are significant for the fixing time of rags. We already know that the Vadi Swar is the main swar or the king note of any rag. If the Vadi note of a rag is from the lower tetrachord of the octave, that is Purvang of the octave, the rag is called Purvang Vadi Rag. And if the Vadi note is from Uttrang of the octave, the rag is termed as Uttrang Vadi Rag. Purvang Vadi Rag are performed from noon to midnight, that is, in between 12 midday to 12 midnight. Similarly, Uttrang Vadi Rags are performed from midnight to noon, that is, from 12 midnight to 12 noon. Though the principle of Purvang and Uttrang is fair enough for fixing the time of rags, yet the confusion arises over the rags having Ma or Pa as Vadi note, because these two notes fall in both the parts of the octave. While determining the time of such rags, it has to ensure which part of the octave dominates in such rags, either Purvang or Uttrang, and accordingly the time is fixed. Samay Chakra, the wheel of time. The time theory divides 24 hours of the day and night in 8 prahars, that is beats. Morning and evening rags overlapping 2 prahars. The schedule you can see in the script will summarize the specific time periods. The 24 hours period is divided into 8 beats. That means each prahar is 3 hours long, which are from 4 am to 7 am. Early dawn, before sunrise, that is the 4th beat of the night. From 7 am to 10 am. Early morning and morning, that is the 1st beat of the day. From 10 am to 1 pm. Late morning, noon and early afternoon, that is the 2nd beat of the day. From 4 pm to 7 pm. Evening, twilight or dusk, sunset, that is the 4th beat of the day. From 7 pm to 10 pm. Evening and late evening, that is 1st beat of the night. From 10 pm to 1 am. Midnight, that is the 2nd beat of the night. From 1 am to 4 am. Late night and early morning, that is the 3rd beat of the night. Now you can see Samay Chakra, that is a wheel of the time of rags that are performed in the above said 8 prahars of the day and night. Theoretically, Each rag of Hindustani music is connected with a particular time of the day or night. But many new performers do not pay attention to the time theory at all. Their argument is that nowadays rags are not always performed live. If the performer wants to record an evening rag and the only time available in the studio is in the morning, he has to do it. And there the time theory of rags does not work out. And who knows at what time a listener is going to hear the recorded rag. So these prescriptions are not followed strictly, especially since the music concerts are generally held in the evening. Pandit Ravi Shankar, the great sitar maestro, too has expressed such views about the time theory of rags. He writes, practically too, it is workable when the music concerts are held outdoor or the atmosphere of the outdoor can be seen and felt. In these cases, one can relate the rag to the time of day or night and to the sunshine or moonlight, thunder, rain or clouds. How in the dark and air-conditioned concert hall? He further mentions that a fine artist can develop a rag of any season or any time of the day or night, and the receptive listeners will feel the full effect and respond to the beauty of music. The time theory appears to be slackening. This he has mentioned in his book My Music, My Life. To sum up, we can say that every rag in Hindustani music is associated with particular passion, moods and human emotions, which keep on changing in the different hours of the day, and hence each rag is closely connected with the definite time of day or night. Musicians and musicologists have prescribed the rules of fixing the time of each rag. On the basis of this, 24 hours of the day are divided into 8 prahars, with each beat of 3 hours long, which start from the dawn of the day till late night. The wheel of the time, or the Samay Chakra, never stops. It keeps on going, and the same cycle of rags is followed from the next day. But in the recent times, in the different recording and performing situations, the time theory of rag is not followed strictly. So we can see slowly the time theory is fading out. However, it is good enough to learn about the rag's time slot because it adds so much to its personality. In the live performances, time theory still has its significance, and if any rag is performed in its proper allotted time, it leaves its own impact on the minds of the listeners. Thank you.